Hello everyone, it's Susie, Crypto Granny here again. Just looking at the technicals for the 4th of January and 4th of January 2024. They look extremely good to me. This is the total market cap at the moment, 1.641 trillion, according to TradingView. And just get rid of this thing here so we can see it a bit more clearly. We saw a lot of selling here just obviously a day ago or so, but it's held great support, got all pushed all the way down there to 1.5 trillion and then bounced quite nicely. And this volume is getting larger and larger. As you can see, the green is getting a lot higher and it looks very good to me and very strong support here, I have to say. Support is 1.56 trillion and resistance is 1.734 trillion. And that's on the daily. If we go to the weekly on that, this thing can really break out right up to here, okay, 2.99 trillion, where I've got a total market cap for crypto, I believe is going to 3 trillion. First resistance level is 1.793 trillion, but that looks excellent to me. If you look at the volume here, it's getting larger and larger, and this thing's going to swing up very, very quickly, I believe so. If we go to Bitcoin, same story, a lot of selling, but came back very, very quickly on the daily, lots of volume happening. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly looks excellent, absolutely excellent. This thing, big resistance on the weekly for Bitcoin is 46,326, but then once it breaks that, she's off to the races, over 69,000 and probably 100,000 by the year end. And I think it looks very, very good indeed, Bitcoin. I've got to tell you that. Very, very bullish, that chart. Let's have a look at Solana. Again, did the same thing, lots of selling, but held its support level pretty much around this $96 level. If we go to the weekly on this, you know, you look at the weeklies here for these charts, but, you know, Solana, I believe, could take out its high again, okay, of 261, and that was way back in 2021. Again, you've had a lot of bottoming for a long time. Volume is increasing. Next resistance on the weekly is 124.60. But again, looks very good to me. And you need to look at the days and the weeklies to get rid of all the noise, people. But these charts look very, very supported, okay? If we go to XRP on the daily, there was a lot of volume sold down here, very much so. The next line of support is around 0.5691. Got up to about 65 cents or even 72. Heaps of volume on the sell side, but let's take it out to the weekly, and that's the big picture. Again, did get hit here, very much so. Needs to hold support here. It looks a bit weaker than anything else I'm looking at 0.5397, okay? So Solana looks better, Bitcoin looks better, and so does total market cap. That does look a bit weak, but we just have to wait and see what happens there. I can't imagine this underperforming given what's happening in the market and what will happen going forward. Let's look at Link on the daily. Again, Link got smashed, but came back very nicely above that support level, 13.84. Resistance is pretty much 14.65, somewhere around there, or even around 16.56, okay? That's on the daily. We look at the weekly. Again, Link looks pretty good to me. Again, support, big level support on this weekly is around 13.38. This thing is amazing story, and to me, it's so cheap. Even now, it's a joke. In the high, got up to 54 bucks, could go high, but I have to say Solana, Bitcoin, and total market cap look a bit better, okay? Again, if we go to Tron's had a mega performance. It's done extremely well. Looks very, very strong here, Tron, I have to say, on the technicals for the daily. Big support is 0.10731. Resistance is around, 11.5 cents. We go to the weekly on this. Again, Tron looks excellent to me. On the weekly, this thing could take out, 18 cents very easily. See how you've got this combined situation here, the sellers and the buyers. This thing could break out very quickly above 0.1125. It looks excellent. You've got this rounding thing as well. Tron is a serious breakout. I think we should be buying some of that at the moment. It looks very good to me. Okay, let's have a DOT. I do like DOT. It's very, very cheap at the moment. Got smashed down here somewhere, 6.47, still very cheap at 7.84. We bought some at 5.12. Big support, 7.738. Resistance is up here somewhere, 9.51. But if we go to the weekly, DOT looks pretty good to me. Been a lot of selling here. This looks like a descending wedge. Big support here, 721, but I think this thing will go off to the races. DOT was so high going back, it was a joke, $54. It's very, very cheap at the moment, okay? Extremely cheap. Let's look at US 2-year bond yields. They're going higher. This thing's broken its downtrend. This thing looks like it can move up to its highs. So the weekly on this, again, let's have a look at this. Going through the resistance. So we're looking at 4.41. Resistance was 4.36. Looks like it can probably take out its highs again, this thing. Maybe 495, something like that. So I'm very bearish bonds at the moment. Again, the 10 years the same. If you have a look at that, it's, you know, it got to a low just below 4%. And I believe this thing can go a lot higher as well. It looks technically like it can for sure. If we look at the Aussie looks bad to me. Aussie could get down to sell on the Aussie for sure. 0.66814. It's 0.6719 at the moment. If we go the weekly on this, oh, that was at 4 hours, my apologies. Go the daily on this. Yeah, the Aussie doesn't look very good to me. Aussie get down to 0.6684 or even lower on the dailies. Let's go to weekly. Sell the Aussie for sure. If it gets back in that downtrend, which is very close to getting back into this big downtrend, this thing could really feel the gap here down to 0.64053. Aussie looks bad to me. It's in a big downtrend and looks like it's going to continue. Look at the US. US again on the dailies is starting to move up again. The downtrend's over and it looks like it's going to move higher, and I think it will. Maybe the rate hike cycle in the US is not over. We did have a double top here and here, where they started buying bonds, but this is reversed the trend, and now yields are starting to go up higher and probably could take out. Now the US is going higher, probably could take out as high again around 150, 152. Again, gold on the daily looks pretty good to me. It's had like a triple top here, around 2045. 2045 looks like it could go higher to me as well in this inflationary environment. And yeah, it looks like it can definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4 tops here. Gold could go anywhere. Seriously, if you go to the monthlies on this, gold could go anywhere. Seriously, this is a huge uptrend, okay? Someone's got $8,000 an ounce for gold, 31 grams. So, but that looks very bullish to me. You've got this big smile here. Huge. Gold could go anywhere. It looks very, very bullish to me indeed. Okay, what else we got here? Excuse me. The Dow is topping out as this. It looks like a bit of a head and shoulders here. Hasn't completed yet, but it's definitely topping out as far as I'm concerned. You've got this rounded top, and when you see that, you get a real pullback in markets, right? Volume, just crazy volume. It's getting more and more expensive. This thing looks very bad to me technically. First level 37,133, then it's got to fill all that gap all the way down right here. So it's got to fill this gap. I think this thing could fall quite quickly, potentially down to 35,578. I don't like it one bit. It's got a rounding top. There's been many triple tops, double tops, and this looks quite bad. And, you know, the volume's reducing quite substantially. This is like blowout. The Dow looks quite ugly to me, I have to tell you that. If I go to the weekly, yeah, it looks bad. I don't like it. Yuck. Look at the volume down here, really bad. This thing's going to come down big time, okay? There's no doubt in my mind about that. I've been looking at technicals for too long, like 40 years. NASDAQ, let's have a look at NASDAQ on a daily. Got the same scenario. As a matter of fact, the NASDAQ's selling off quicker than the Dow, and understandably so, because it's much more connected to interest rates, but that looks pretty bad. Really big rounding top here. This could fill up this gap here on the NASDAQ. It's too expensive. We know that dividend yields are about 1.5%. Compared to a 6-month term deposit in the US of 5. So this thing's got a long way to fall, actually. This thing could easily do 300 points on the downside, but even more if you look at the weekly, yeah, whoa, this looks terrible. I mean, potentially this thing could get down to, golly, 15,812. I've been short very much so. Again, look at the volume here. Down, down, down she goes. It's terrible. I wouldn't want to be long US equities at the moment. They've topped out completely. If we look at the 2000, Russell 2000, that's even a bigger indicator, okay? It's lost support here. Big support. Let's just change this. Make it regular. It's lost this big line of support here, just about 1968. It's currently at 19667. This thing could really fill the gap down here. maybe even down at 18.79 and down low. Look at the reds here. Not great, not great. Let's go to the monthly on the weekly on this. Yeah, definitely topping out. Definitely got big resistance here. This thing's topping out, and the M always completes itself in every market I've ever seen. This M will complete itself. Down to 1642, the Russell 2000. Yuck. And look at the volume. Terrible. Ooh, it's a big sell, that one. Massive sell. This is all the micro stocks, not the big cap stocks. The fund managers are buying big cap stocks, and they're, you know, priced to perfection. But those things can go down a lot, and so can this US 2000 Russell Index. This is a mega, mega sell. You've got literally 1, 2, 3, 4 short-term tops. You couldn't get to the previous high at all, and now you've got this M structure. And if history repeats itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. That is seriously down, people, down. We'll have a look at this another week. But I suggest that if you're going to take a trading position, sell the Russell 2000. That looks so bearish to me. It's a joke. Absolute joke, right? We'll keep that. Wow, scary stuff. Okay, volatility index in the US against the S&P 500 starting to climb up. So it's too low as far as I'm concerned, way too low. You'd be buying the volatility index at the moment. You've got to buy it because it's going to go up. And that thing is on its lows at the moment. That's a joke, right? That thing could go up big time, right? I'd be buying that as well. Let's have a look at the weekly on that. Yep, it's too low. God, that's a joke at 13.88 for volatility in this market. We're going to see a lot of volatility, okay? So that's too low by the volatility. And oil, I don't know what's happening with oil, but I've been going short oil lately. It doesn't make sense, though, I have to tell you, with all the wars and everything overseas. But you got to go with the chart. We put a line down here, a big downtrend here, but it's got to break. It's got to go up, right? You need to have this thing break. That's on the daily, right? On the weekly, let's have a look at that. Maybe it's a different story. Still doesn't look good. It needs to break this line here, right? 73.45, right? It keeps getting sold down there. So as far, that's a pretty rough, trend line, but I don't have to be that accurate. But yeah, this thing needs to break 73 for it to go up. And it's surprising it's not, that you may get that break very soon, but it's still on a downtrend. So you have to respect the downtrend until it breaks 73. Look, take it out for a month. Yep. So in the bigger picture, it doesn't look too bad, but I suggest it's probably going to support is 69.31 on oil. And I think after that, it's probably going to bounce. That's my view. I think oil will go higher during the year because of all the wars and everything and lack of supply and what's happening in the Red Sea. People have to use more oil and everything else. So short term, it needs to break 73. So all up, crypto markets up big time. Solana looks fantastic. Polkadot looks fantastic. XRP not so good. But then 2-year bond yields up, 10-year bond yields up, prices down. Russell 2000 looks terrible. The Aussie looks bad. US yen looks like it's reverse trend up again. Gold's going to go through the roof. That is a very bullish chart. I've got to tell you that, massively bullish. Dow down, very negative. NASDAQ down, very negative. The Russell 2000 even worse, terrible, really bad. Volatility too cheap, it's going to go up. You've got to buy it. Oil has to break 73 to be in the massive uptrend, but I think it will. So if you've got any questions, people, please come back to me. But that's how I see markets, okay, playing out all this year. And I'm ultra bullish cryptocurrencies and specific cryptocurrencies that we buy, okay? 33,000 coins and tokens and more, just because the market goes up. Not all will go up, but the ones we certainly buy will. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.